Hello guys, you know me as Kidlad, and today I'm bringing you guys another tutorial on Call of Duty Black Ops. This time I will be teaching you guys how to optimize your control settings when using the Wii Remote. Keep in mind that these Wii Remote settings will not necessarily make you aim better, as many of you guys probably already gotten used to your own personal controls. However, at least the methodology of improving your controls will carry over to you when you decide to configure your controls your own way. We are going to model our Wii Remote control settings to the best known first-person control setup, which is the mouse and keyboard. That is what you see on the right-hand side of this title card, someone playing Call of Duty on the PC. While the Wii Remote is not as effective as a mouse and keyboard setup, it can come really close to it, and we're going to hopefully mimic that great control onto the Wii Remote. So let's get into it. First, I want you guys to make a new account like I'm doing here so you don't lose your original control settings. I know how long it takes to get those control settings right, and I don't want you guys to lose that vital information just in case you find your own control settings better than mine. Anyway, PC controls are good because of their ability to precisely get to certain pixels on the screen very fast and very efficiently. I mean, you guys do it all the time, right? When you navigate the internet, clicking on all sorts of buttons and links and stuff like that. Imagine how less efficient that would be otherwise using something else. So in order to get those keyboard and mouse-like controls, we're going to have to configure our settings a certain way. So after you're done making your new profile, go over to the control settings and change the settings to the way I tell you. For the button layout, make whatever layout suits you. For me, I like to use the Charlie setup with melee and knife buttons switched around so I can knife with my nunchuck. It feels more intuitive to me since the character on screen knifes with his left hand anyway, and I prefer reload to be on a button since I'm going to use that action a lot of the time while playing. For aim styles, make sure look spring is turned on. It's hard to explain exactly what it does, but in short, it helps when shooting upwards towards the sky or downwards towards the floor. We won't be focusing on scopes in this tutorial because I want to focus on regular aiming first. Scope controls for the Wii Remote are cumbersome anyway, and until Treyarch fixes them, you're better off just using the classic controller Pro than ending up in frustration. For camera speed, make sure all of them are maxed out at 40. Remember, we want to get to the precise pixel very fast, so putting them all to maximum will help us out on that. If you were worried that putting the camera speed to the max would make your controls too wavy or too finicky, fear not, just make sure the sensitivity is at 0. This way you can move and aim really fast while having the camera stable with the sensitivity at 0. For camera sensitivity, this setting is different for each individual person, so we're going to have to change it later on. For now, just put it at 20 and we'll deal with it later. Now this is really important. For dead zones, make sure all of them are set to 0. This is very important because we want to move in one continuous and smooth movement. We don't want to have to flick the Wii Remote around in order to turn. Here, I'll show you an example. If we have a large dead zone, you always have to flick the Wii Remote around just to be able to look around. It can make aiming quite hard. Now here's the difference. With no dead zone, aiming is all done in one quick and smooth and efficient movement. You can see the difference right here. Another important thing about this is taking corners. Say you want to enter this house right here, and you know that there's an enemy camping in the left corner. With a dead zone, taking this corner is very hard because, again, you have to flick the camera around to get it where you want to go. With no dead zone, you can easily take this corner and kill whoever is there camping waiting for you. Gestures can be whatever feels good to you. I don't have any controls on the Wii Remote, so I put that to 0. Otherwise, whatever suits you. ADS reach is also very important, but it is different for each individual person. For now, put it at 20. We'll deal with it later. Invert the control stick if you like, and also make sure weapon pickup is on an inventory button. Trust me, once you get the hang of it, it's much faster than using the sprint button. Just remember to tap and release when picking up the weapon and not to hold. Now go to your options. Turn aim assist on. If you manage to ADS near a target, your cursor will automatically home onto the enemy, making aiming a lot easier. Else you're going to have to drag your cursor a fair distance in order to kill the enemy, which is quite cumbersome. Here's an example. See how I ADS'd away from the target? I had to drag my aim over to kill him, which took a lot of time in the process. If you aim directly at the opponent before ADSing, your aim homes in, making killing him much easier. I think it's great because it rewards people who actually take the time to aim at the opponent before ADSing rather than just haphazardly ADSing on reflex or on an impulse. I'll talk more about this later. Moving on, keep the things the way you want them to be. Just make sure the camera lock is enabled. It's useful for long range shots and throwing precise grenades. You should try it out sometime to get used to it. Now for the reticle, use whatever color you want, just make sure the style is set to 40 so the outer crosshair things don't show. It can get distracting because sometimes you look at the outer crosshair rather than the center dot, and I don't want to approximately know where my bullets will go, I just want to know where they will go. So I'm going to focus only on that center dot and make sure that only the center dot will appear for my reticle. Also, very quickly, make sure to turn rumble off. You're going to have to do this in the main menu and not in the multiplayer menu because you can't do it. It doesn't allow you to. But anyway, rumble can really throw your aiming off because it jerks around your hand and screws up your aiming. And it also wastes a lot of battery, so you might as well just turn it off to save the two. Now that all the customization is done, we're going to have to refine these controls because each person is different on how steady their hand is and how sensitive they like their controls. Because of this, we have to set up stages of refinement in order to improve these controls to fit your own individual needs and preferences. The first stage of refinement is in a private match. Just load up Nuketown and walk around the map. It's that simple. Just walk around and check to see if your controls feel wobbly or if they need to be more sensitive. If it feels too wobbly, go to the sensitivity menu and change the camera sensitivity. Remember the thing that I told you that was different for each person, right? Change it down and try that out. If you feel that it needs to be more sensitive, increase the camera sensitivity a bit. Do this for a while until movement feels comfortable to you. The next step of refinement is going to combat training. Nothing special here again, guys, just go around and hip fire only. Again, if your controls are spazzing out, lessen the camera sensitivity. If you need more sensitivity, increase it. After tinkering for a while, you should have your newly controlled hip fire aiming. Now that your hip fire is completed, we are going to focus on ADS. Again, just go around and kill bots while ADSing. It's that simple, guys, really. Just go around and try out the ADS. The only difference this time is that the variable we are going to change is ADS reach. If you feel that the opponents are escaping your aim and the ADSing is too slow, increase it. If you feel it's too wobbly and you need more stabilization, go ahead and decrease it. That should round out your controls for ADSing. The final step of refinement is heading online into a ranked match because human players are much smarter and harder to kill than bots. Again, change up sensitivities as needed. After this, your controls should be completed and perfect. So that's it, guys. Now before this ends, I want to give you guys 3 quick tips to help out your aiming. The first one is to relax. Guys, video games are supposed to be fun and relaxing and not meant to stress you out. It's a simple virtue that relaxing will make you less tense and feel better and make you do better overall. So yeah, guys, just take a chill pill. It'll make you do much better. The next tip will help your hip fire. Instead of turning your Wii Remote left and right to hip fire someone, try to keep the cursor in the center of the screen and instead strafe left and right. It's much easier to hip fire this way, and I get the kill before the opponent does most of the time. The final tip will help out your ADS. Before you ADS, make sure to aim your cursor at the opponent before you ADS. That way you can quickly adjust your aim and not have to make long cursor movements across the screen. Don't be one of those people who haphazardly ADS randomly when they see an opponent. Relax, aim your cursor over their body, and then ADS for more effective results. Hopefully these tips will help you start out matches like I did here more often. Anyway, I hope this tutorial helped or at least gave you some insight on what each control setting does, or at least insight on the methodology to improve your own personal controls. If you could do me a favor, guys, please like the video. It's nice to see that my work is appreciated among you guys. Post in the comments on what you think of these controls and if they helped you out or not. Anyway, I'm Kid Light, and until next time, peace, guys. I'm out.